Watch this video to the end if you want to become free as an individual in the continent of Africa and possibly help raise other people who are already in captivity or mental captivity, so to speak. You see, it is only in Africa that we are suffering from what I call victimhood mentality. Every single one of us plays the role as to though we are victimized in all facets of life. For instance, if you ask an average young person in Nigeria, why are you not succeeding? He's going to give you series of ideas of why he's not succeeding, and none of that can point at himself. The same thing to people born in Ghana, Burundi, Rwanda, Congo, Mali, Botswana, Egypt, Czech Republic, Namibia. They all have the same complaint. And what is that? Mainly the first thing you ask them, why is the continent of Africa not developing? They said the Europeans, because of colonialism. And you ask them what is the way out. They don't have no idea. They believe that the Europeans who caused their problem should come back to Africa to help them change the situation. Now, if you have been victimized for 6 decades without navigating a new path for yourself or having the strategy to pivot into the right direction that could lift you out of your problem, then something is fundamentally wrong with you. And that is the situation of Africa. Now you go ahead now, you ask every young person in the continent of Africa and say, are you through with school? Most of them say yes. And you tell them what next? They're going to say the government are not creating jobs. You ask the person, what are you doing? He said the government is not creating jobs. In other words, the answer to the question is unrelated. You go from community to community, you see them engaging in what I call betting. That means our programs or our programming is wrong. Because if you understand probability, just simple arithmetic, you wouldn't in any way engage in betting. But you'll be shocked to death that you walk across the continent of Africa, you see young men languishing in the Naira bet shops. They'll sit there from morning to night. The little penny they have, they will use it to play bet. The ones that their mother and their father give to them, they will use it to play bet. They don't have no clarity of what they're going to be in the future. All they believe is that I've gone to school, I have certificate, I'm waiting for the day that miracle will happen. And then my government is going to create a job, then I'll get a job and live a good life. Life demands that actually achieve personal sovereignty. No matter the situation of your country, you must be able to fight for your individual self. When you are free, you can help make other people become free. But since you are trapped, you are in captive, you can't help anybody, neither can you help yourself. So you go right now and you want to understand what I'm saying. You figured out that black people, before the arrival of the Europeans, were living well. They weren't starving in the street. They weren't beggars. They may not have skyscrapers, private jets, cars, Rolls Royce, Rolex, and whatever you can call it. But the truth is that they were living fine. They were able to till ground. They were able to use crops to facilitate their evolution and live within themselves in those communities and live perfectly. Today, black people are not able to do that. Why? Victim mentality or victimhood mentality. They believe that since the European came to Africa, they destroyed everything. In other words, we're going to be sitting back and waiting till the day that the same Europeans are going to return back to Africa to change everything so that we're living off well in this continent. That is a victimhood mentality. The same thing is also happening within the black community in the United States of America. The Chinese are there. The Jews are there. The Indians are there. They had almost the same experience with my brothers in America. But then they have already discovered that this life is, first of all, lift yourself out of poverty, attain personal sovereignty. Don't live based on victimhood mentality. Ask yourself, how can I pull myself away from this problem? And when you do, naturally, the outer world will reward you. Today, the Jews are living fine in America. The Indians are living fine in America. The Chinese are living fine in America. It is only the black people that are still complaining after 400 years. You ask them what's the problem, they say we are enslaved. That is not really the major problem. The major problem is the victimhood mentality that they have come to head grip for a very long time. They believe that the white people are the reason why they are not exercising their gift of inventiveness or their gift of entrepreneurship. And for that reason, they are trapped. Now they degenerate to the point where they engage in drugs, violence, crime here and there. It is in their own community that you find that. When you ask them, they say it is still the white people that are doing it. How are white people doing it? Are they the ones forcing you to take drugs? Now there is school. You ask them to go to school. They say no. They want to sit back at home. The same mentality is what has been transferred to people back home in Africa. Victimhood mentality. We don't want to do for ourselves what we ought to do. We are always waiting for external force. We believe that is an external force that is our major problem. Now, take for instance, if they believe that their problem is not that of colonialism, is not that of government, they are not only going to believe in superstition. They believe that their problem is witches and wizards. The reason why I'm not able to get a job is because the woman next to me is a witch, so she's sabotaging me spiritually, and I'm not able to get a job. Come on, your problem is that you are not skilled in the right direction. That's why the pastors are living great in the country. Today we have some sorcerers, the witch doctors, living fantastic. They are buying good cars because out of your gullible or your gullibility, if they have any word like that, you are taking your hard-earned money to give them, to tell you that it is the person next to you that is making you not to succeed. Now you have a victimhood mentality. You believe, okay, I'm going to pray for spiritual power to come before I will make money. Money don't come that way. 90% of the people you see in Silicon Valley closing deals of billions of dollars, most of them don't pray. They don't believe in nothing. Because life answered to laws and principles. That the moment you are able to live based on those laws and principles, things will begin to happen for you. Because dominion is the natural soul of every human being on this planet. You are made to dominate your areas of domain. But until you have been able to invest in yourself to the point where you are not thinking that it is XYZ that is holding me back, it is myself, my ignorance, my lack of creativity, my lack of high-level skill that is keeping me from excelling, you will never excel. That is the problem in Africa. We believe that the Europeans are the problem. We believe that witches and wizards are the problem. We believe government is the problem. Now we have digital economy. Today there are so many online free courses that you can take. Some of them can even give you certifications. But you will never do that. You are more fixated on watching television or playing Naira Bet, where they ask you what's the problem, instead of you to saying, I have not been able to sit up and create my own opportunity. In case you don't know, people create their own opportunity. No matter the situation of the country, you must consistently press towards the creating of your own opportunity. You can go learn things like video editing. You can learn graphics. You can learn copywriting. You can learn digital marketing. You can learn content creation. You can learn all sorts of things online today by sitting with your smartphone. But you take those times and data that you have, you spend it on YouTube watching useless videos. You go from one social media account to another trying to comment on scandal news. That is the reason why you are held back. I've said it time and time again. I said there is a level of expertise that you will attain in your life. Whatever society you are in that does not reward such expertise, they will vomit you. That is why you see that there are some people who come all the way from another country to come and seek for highly skilled people in your country. The country that is not rewarding such skills are going to vomit them so that those guys will take them. That's why the most important thing you have to do as a young man in the continent of Africa is to develop yourself. Read books, learn skills, not just learning skills. Take time to learn the skills 24/7. If you have a job, when you come back in the night, say, I'm not going to sleep for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to learn. You can't learn for 6 months how to design with graphics and you will not know what to do. So many people pay thousands of dollars for that. But continually you are shouting, The government is not working. The witches and wizards around me, the native doctors are holding me back. Colonialism are doing this and that. That is irrelevant argument. It doesn't hold water. Nobody cares. Every society that is thriving today that you see have to believe that they can do it before they started doing it. You are not the first people that were colonized. As a matter of fact, there is evidence out there that black people started colonizing white people from 1500 to 1700s. They were going in Europe, buying them and returning them back to North Africa. Black folks like you and I. So we started the game. If you like to cry from now to forever, sometimes we don't want to accept the truth. If the white people really truly colonized you, or enslaved you, or bought you, your people bought them in the past. It seems that you don't know your history or you have not read. You see, colonialism and slavery is like a prevailing human condition that has been happening for ages. And that should not hold you back because it happened to you. You must learn quickly and tell yourself, I'm going to stop it and I'm going to move on. As I am, I've come to the point where I will never complain about anything. Like the government it's not my problem. The colonialism is not my problem. Witches and wizards, not my problem. What's my problem? My problem is my problem. I need to find a way to develop myself. I need to read. I need to learn skills. I need to meet sharp minds. I need to read things that elevate instead of things that remove from my brain. That is your problem as a young person in Africa. And once you articulate this, there is little or nothing you cannot do with your life. Great minds are bettered when they design their own opportunity. I was reading the story of the guy who built Panasonic. That guy never had any single education, yet he believed he could build something that could pass the test of universal appeal. Today, Panasonic is in 150 countries in the world. It is mentality. You sitting back in Africa, no matter your place you are, you can design your own opportunity that is going to shape culture, penetrate territories, and lift your people out of poverty. But victimhood mentality will not allow you. It is this person that is my problem. It is that system that is my problem. It is that teacher that is my problem. It is that president that is my problem. It is colonialism that is my problem. By the time you are saying all of this, what you are saying is, I am incapable of lifting myself out of this peril that I am in. You have to learn, develop yourself. You see, the more you read and the more you learn skills, the more you see that life is necessarily about what you do for yourself, not mainly what people do for you. As a matter of fact, when you see people doing things for others, it simply means that those people have been able to grow themselves to the point where what they are doing attract those people that decide to invest in them. As I say, that nobody invests in a dummy. This video is tilted towards you as an individual in the continent of Africa, doing the right thing for yourself first. You must learn that smartphone in your hand that you are using it to watch this video. Tell yourself, after this one, I'm not going to watch Telemundo. I'm not going to watch Z-World. I'm not going to watch all these Nigerian movies again. For the next 3 years, it's about learning. Let's do it. You read 100, 200 books in a year. By the time you read it for 3 years, you have read 300 books. Your entire life would have sharpened. You've learned skills. You are consistently learning how to edit, how to design graphics, how to build sales pages, how to write sales copy, how to market, how to do e-commerce. Choose the ones where you can do and do it consistently. For 3, 4, 5 years, you would have lifted yourself out of poverty. You will not be part of the people who are complaining every day and night, that are living all their life based on victimhood mentality. Those people that are excelling are not better than you. If they bring your brain out and do a critical scan on it, you find out that if your brain would have been developing in the level that their own are developing, you could have been the next Elon Musk, but it's being wasted in irrelevant, frivolous stuffs. Remember again, pleasure is killing us in this part of the world. We are people who are pleasurably attracted. Like we are attracted to pleasure. We want to go to a club. We want to go to a party. We want to watch football. We want to listen to music. We want to do all of those things, but we never take time to develop ourselves. So every little money we make every Friday, I want to go to club. Take that money, find a course online and buy, or find a mentor, or find somebody and pay to educate you in a place you know that you are deficient. You ought to develop yourself. This is why we don't have experts. Because the moment they finish school, they take their certificate, they keep it on the cupboard. That's it. You ask them what next, you say, I'm looking for a job. Have you read any book since you graduated? No book. Have you learned no new skill? No. In other words, for the past 5, 6, 7 years, he or she is still the same. You have not been able to upgrade his or herself. This is the deficiency in the society. Stop complaining about what the colonialism did or what colonialism are doing. Neocolonialism can only be potent when you give it power. Because no white man is here telling me, Lechuku, Captain Africa, don't build anything here in the village. Don't build factory. Or don't learn this skill. Don't learn how to edit video. Don't read books. I am the one telling myself. And I'm telling myself with sympathy. Or I'm looking for someone to sympathize with me. You know, when you go around, you see your friends, you tell them what's the problem in the society. You guys all agree. That's foolishness. You don't know. When you tell me that the problem is Tinubu or John Mahama or Trayero or Nandi of Namibia, that those people are the problem, I'm not going to listen to you. My problem is my problem. The moment I listen to you, it simply means two of us are mentally derailed. We should always be fighting to attain personal sovereignty, knowing fully well yet that there's a problem in the society, but it should not hold us back, for our destiny is in our hand. My destiny is not in the hand of my president. No human being on this planet gives his or her destiny to another person. You carry it in your hand. You make something out of it, out of your own desire and resilience and pursuit. Research has been carried out. They found out that the people who succeed the more are the people who develop grit to be, what I call resilience, to continue in the face of obstacle, doing the same thing for a very long time. And the same way it is to society and companies. If you read the book Good to Great by Professor Jim Collins, he made something very clear there. He began to explain the fact that great company which takes a leap from being good to becoming a great company, a company who has been in existence and has been doing something for a very long time. You didn't see those times. What you see is the spark or the spike where they went up and become a powerful company in the world. That's how human beings are. When you start reading, you won't understand what you are reading. When you start learning skills, it will seem as though it is impossible until it begins to dawn on you small. I am telling you out of experience. I'm not saying things I read on books. I can draw. I know when I started, I didn't know what I was doing. I can sew. I can sew suits and sew all type of clothes. When I started, I didn't know what I was doing. I can write sales copies. I can design sales page with my smartphone. And when you look at it, you will not believe it. You say, this is done with laptop. When I started, I almost had to cry because you click here, it will bring you back to that place. But with resilience, grit, and consistency, I have come to develop myself up to that point. And this is the reason why it is very difficult to see me complain about the situation in the country. Otherwise, I should sympathize with those I believe have not been given the capacity and the capability, the enlightenment to see the hurdles that is keeping them backward. If every one of us are thinking in this manner, there is nothing we cannot build in Africa. This is how every other countries in the world are built. They say we can do these things for ourselves. You build it from the individual aspect, then you can now transfer it to the community, and from the community to the state, and from the state to the national level, and from the national level to the continental level. And by the time we have done, you find that Africa has become the Eldorado that all of us are dreaming. We can build it. It's just here. Instead of running away from problem, run towards problem. That's what it means. Great men run towards problem. They don't run away from problem. They do all of the things they do to master skills. And that's why their brain seems to be different. They are not gifted more than you. They are just more disciplined more than you. Some of you are more gifted, but you're not disciplined like them. Learn this thing, and the whole of your life will be transformed, and you will stop living in victimhood mentality. Go and read history so that you see that people that succeed are people who says, I can do this thing. I can do this thing. I'm not waiting for anybody. And once we do this, both the Africans in Nigeria, in Ghana, Burundi, Rwanda, Congo, Mali, Botswana, Czech Republic, and the Africans in the diaspora will be doing something great. Now, for instance, you see that statistics says that the black people from Nigeria or black people from Africa that travel to America are more successful than the black Americans who has been there for 400 years. Why? Victimhood mentality. They believe that the reason why they are not succeeding is the American government. The Nigerians that went there are not able to buy into such deficient mentality. So they cling to the fact that I must build my own opportunity. I must create and carve my own opportunity. And by so doing, they keep learning, keep gathering skills. And before you know it, they are later in the banking system, in the field of science, robotics, and medical science. They are doing great things there. Yet they left here with almost zero things. Victimhood mentality have to leave you before you can excel. And more importantly, when those guys are back in Nigeria, when they are back in Africa, They are not doing the same thing because they have actually accepted that victimhood mentality until they left, the shackle fell off their eye. This thing is simple. I don't know why most things are taking us like eons to articulate. Anyway, I wanted to give you this today so that you can go there and begin to learn. I have a course. If you go right now and click on my bio, I have course. I have like different courses that I create, free courses that I'm giving to young people of Africa. You know, because I have an organization called African Resurgent Movement Organization, AMO Academy. The whole idea is to equip you digitally, to equip you mentally, to equip you philosophically, to equip you to become a thinker, to equip you to become free for yourself. Go to that link and choose any video that you want to watch and start watching and start educating and learning on your own, be it on marketing, be it on graphic design, be it on creating information product, and all of them. I gave it out for free, be it on how to write book, convert your brain to books. It's as easy as ABCD. Nobody taught me this thing. I sat down and learned and learned and learned. Anyway, this is what I have for you guys. Go ahead right now and share this video with your family and friends. And don't forget that I remain Captain Africa. Ad Astra.